Bernadette Waugh. Who am I? What am I? This is who I am, and this is my social identity. Exploring my identity, a reflection of social construction in my material, psychological, and social impacts. An analysis of my social identities. And what are they? Number 1, being religion and spirituality. Number 2, my family structure. Number 3, my ability and educational status. So let's begin. Religion and spirituality, and that being Christianity for me. How do I view a spiritual and theological legacy with roots that go back to the beginning of time in Genesis, a walk of life that goes beyond studying the Bible and going to church on Sunday, sharing a vision to reach out, encourage one another. It is a faith that is very much alive, a movement to bring healing and compassion, and to give glory to God in everything you do daily. How is Christianity viewed in society? It is not always met favorably. Many have a misunderstanding of the faith. Some have been met with people who were not true Christians, and through a negative experience turned away from the church or even from entering the faith. Some have made it bad for the Christian faith with their false teachings and occultic ways. Unless you really know the Bible, and the one that I refer to is the King James Version, it may be hard to recognize these false teachers. On the other hand, Christianity is met with open arms, great people of God expressing love, care, and compassion in material and non-tangible ways throughout communities and the world. Christianity is seen as a strong, long-lasting, and deep-rooted religion. My own illustration of Christianity. For as long as I could remember, my family had brought me up in the Catholic faith. I was a devout Christian, spending at times 22 hours a week at church, if you could believe that. It was where I got my self-confidence and self-esteem in life. I was and still am recognized as a leader in the church community. In 1992, I left the Catholic faith on what I feel to be God's will and entered into a deeper walk as an independent Pentecostal. I began to get deeper involved as a youth leader. My music ministry also flourished. There has been such wisdom gained. My life has been very rewarding in my Christian walk. I have been called upon by the leaders to have a profound influence on our youth today. Practically everything I am today, I attribute to my Christian faith and my God. My mission is to develop strong Christian leaders within our communities, building up our youth, and helping to restore, heal wounds that have been caused by many hurts, rejections, insults, and pain brought on by others in their lives. I have devised a youth Christian leadership conference that has been some 20 years in the making, and you can learn more at this site given. And I do also know from this site that the hosting may be soon to be expired, so you can reach out to me personally and I will most certainly get you the information and the program. An analysis of social identities. Now we move on to number 2, family structure. And this is going to be quite the interesting journey that I'm going to be sharing with you. How do I view To have family structure is crucial into the lives of everyone. We see children and adults who have grown without family structure and the problems that arise due to it. These individuals are filled with attachment issues, unable to fully come to devote, commit, and yes, even love those around them. And I will stress that is not with all. Human nature requires that we form bonds early in life, that we grow in an environment where we can feel safe and trust those around us. Stability in one's life is crucial. We see children who lacked this trust, love, and safety and stability in those with oppositional defiant disorder and conduct disorder, leading away into abusive marriages. To have family structure is healthy for everyone. How is family structure viewed in society? It used to be the traditional family consisting of a married couple providing support and care to their biological children. Over the years, this view has changed substantially. Today, the family structure is quite diverse. With divorce on the rise, one may see a single mom with her children, a stay-at-home dad, aunts, uncles, grandparents holding the role of parent and guardian. And we also see teenage moms with their children as their own parents are the guardians. We have now same-sex marriages with an increase on the interest in adoption. We have had to conform, though it does not stop others from generating controversy. My own illustration of family structure. Many will say the Brady Bunch has nothing on you. And why is that? I once married before for 9 years to an extremely abusive man. The marriage ended in divorce. I relied on my God heavily to bring another man, a husband, a dad, into our lives. Through a Christian website, ChristianCafe.com, I met an incredible Christian man. Soon after we were married. It has been an incredible, amazing, almost 17 years now. Now I come with 3 children, and he came with his adopted niece and a son he adopted from foster care. Now here is where it gets more complicated. He had previously had 3 children from another woman, so now this makes a total of, let me think here. Oh yes, 8 children, 3 of whom came up to visit on the weekends. We absolutely love children. And does it show? I think you can see for yourself that we are definitely a blended interracial family. How I view my mom. You are my role model and you're someone to look up to. You're protective, you're very honest with a loving personality. You help me with my problems for many ways and all you do for me that I love you. Larissa. How I view my mom. My mom is as sweet as blooming roses. Her beauty is like a ruby. I love my mom so much. She is so kind and a great mom. I give her hugs daily and try to give her breakfast in bed. She likes the coffee I make her. Jaden. How I view my mom. You're my best mom ever. You're a beautiful, nice person and have a nice personality. We are close. You always make me happy. Destiny. How I view Bernadette. You're nice, but don't tell anyone I told you that. You're kind, whatever. Don't always like the clothes you buy for me. Though I have a mom, you're pretty good. Glad you married my dad and that you don't scream. Kwanzi. How I view my wife. You are very outgoing. confident, chicken when she is ready, loving, resourceful, and dedicated to her work, free-spirited, very chatty, 100% don't know when to shut up at times. I love and care about her a lot. Although she is a pain in the butt, I feel she is in total control. Though she play wrestles with me, when I with her, after a few minutes, she starts to bawl. Julian. Singing plays a major role in our family. Stepson Jordan, if you look to this site on YouTube, a must see. If this is my social identity, God help me. Daughter, Larissa, singing with her friends. She's the one singing in the gray and white striped top. Hey, soul sister. My daughter, Larissa, also singing You Belong With Me, also at this website on YouTube. Here I am singing at the cross. And a video of my daughter, Destiny, doing the song You Raise Me Up. And permission has been obtained from all the other children's parents that I have on file at the YouTube website posted here. Being of a blended interracial family has come with its share of struggles, stereotypes, and bias. Some thought I was foolish to take on a man with so many presents. They call it baggage, being brought into the family. It would have been difficult to stay living on the west coast of Newfoundland, as we could not walk down the street together, but everyone had to keep looking back in their rearview mirror. Though interracial marriages are welcomed in Newfoundland, it is not common. Therefore, you still have your few people in every community that would not see it as such a blessed situation, as met by my ex-mother-in-law, who, when upon meeting my Julian, had to dispose of the cup that he drank from. She was mortified that I could place any article of clothing of his up against my own skin. I feel so embarrassed and ashamed to say that there are people like this in this world of ours. This family demonstrated that these people should marry only in their own kind and should be all shipped back to Africa. Now, isn't that sad? We have been fortunate up here living in Toronto to have nothing but open arms and kindness shown to us. The people here make us feel more of a family than my own people back home in Newfoundland. And there is an update. Since 2012, we have moved back to Newfoundland, and the stories my husband could share in terms of racism against him, comments and actions. He has his own channel on YouTube where he has been sharing a lot of his experiences and his thoughts. And you can look him up. His YouTube channel is Flash Photography. My own perceptions of interracial marriages. I grew up in St. John's, Newfoundland. From there, I was partially exposed to different cultures. I had a close Asian Indian friend when I was only 5 years old. Yes, I had a crush on him. From there, I opened myself to wanting to have a relationship with non-Caucasian. This was my sexual preference, and I don't see it as racism towards white. I grew up with an overly friendly people who for the most part embrace everyone no matter color or what culture you're from. I had an uncle, captain of the army, who always shared with me his utmost disgust for black people. I met him with a notion that he was a sick man, angry and poisoned with a God he would someday have to answer to. And now on to number 3 of the analysis of social identities, and that being ability, educational status. How do I view? It is ever important to gather further education after your high school diploma. There are youth who are excited just to work at McDonald's, a prerequisite in everyone's life. I spend time teaching youth how not to be a high school dropout program. After so doing, they realize and gain perspective the reality of their finances. I also teach finances for kids to help them gain an excellent foothold into obtaining a good future for themselves. I am also a big believer of the importance of gaining leadership skills. It is these skills, along with self-confidence and positive thinking, that will help our youth succeed and give them an edge in this competitive world. I have devised a weekend-long conference in helping youth obtain such abilities. And if you would like to have a copy of this weekend-long that can also be divided up over 3 weekends, please reach out to me. And yes, I have devised a program for non-Christian youth as well. It frustrates me so to see a youth lazy and not wanting to do anything with their lives. A youth lacking motivation. And that is one of my callings, to increase their goal set, their drive, and for them to dream bigger. How are abilities and education viewed in society? Abilities. Those youth who do not reach the traditional academic standards are encouraged to continue studies from vocational schools, teach skills abilities over book learning. For example, the Malvern Scarborough Center are realizing the importance of teaching abilities such as culinary skills. They are hoping to have it as a necessity for graduation onto education. Our education system is based mostly on categorizing youth in above average, normal, or below average. This stereotyping stays with them throughout their academic years. With this bias instilled within the youth themselves and others, their self-confidence can go either way. Due to society and its regulations, not all youth can take part in a post-secondary education. Governments with each election try to accommodate with little show of success. Provinces are showing the importance of investing in our youth's education, and you can learn more on the site given here. Youth are our tomorrow. Would you agree? My own illustration of ability education status. My education in finance, accounting led to a position in the financial sector. My abilities to persevere and learn everything possible from those who were very prestigious within the company made me a source of wisdom. Other prestigious men and women came to me for advice. People earning 100, 200,000 a year, and even an individual earning 800,000 a year also came to me. It was indeed a sense of power within myself. This was demonstrated as they would have me teaching several times before approximately 75 business adults. They would say I was the 2% of the 20%. I loved to teach and still do. This is one of my utmost passions and giftings. It made me fit more in with the elite in society in my humanity. I had also, over the past 20 years, gained much wisdom in leadership qualities and skills. Through organizing leadership conferences, it is my goal to transfer these abilities. So why did I leave such a place of high prestige and power? It was a passion of mine, but not my utmost passion. From the time I was 14, I knew my giftings and abilities lay in teaching and counseling youth. This is where I feel the most fulfilled as a human being. It gives me a sense of power with respect when I put myself out there to uplift our youth. In challenging their lives, I feel I am doing more in society over changing the financial outcome of a family. I feel I am contributing more. Many times, I do not see the rewards. My utmost is to plant seeds and let others see the harvest. I have a responsibility to our youth and to our young adults. I feel powerless when I cannot get inside the heart and mind of a youth. I feel powerless when I am confined by the norms of society. I feel I am put inside of a box and severely limited, feeling frustrated as they do not see the same potential as I do see in them. Or certain credentials are needed to hold a convention with certain organizations instead of looking at your 20 years of experience. And now those years have increased. Empowering children. Identity. We are all trying to discover who we are as individuals and who we are as a part of a group. Because our lives are always changing, so is our identity. We go through our lifetime always searching and eager to belong. It is a desire within each one of us to belong to a group or partnership. This group or partnership, or both, becomes part of our identity. It is more than joining a group. It is developing team spirit. It is having cohesion within this group or partnership. We spend our time, our money, and energy seeing soccer teams come together. They bond, make a commitment to team goals, cooperate to achieve these goals. There are team logos and flags and uniforms, all to create a sense of identity. We long ourselves to belong to such a team. Values. What do you hold of importance and of worth to you? All of us have things that we value. Some of these values are in common with others, while others are quite distinct from others. Some values we have in common would be our personal safety and security, while others may destroy this value in others they do not hold for themselves. Other common values would have to do with receiving an education, having excellent health, and living a long life. Yet, we have values that are distinct from one another, making us all different. We each have a value system. Our value systems create our identities. I personally would not be part of a group, put my whole heart into, if I did not believe in what this group stood for. And that also goes for job placements as well. Identity is a reflection of our value system. Norms. These are written or unwritten rules of each individual and group. From the time we are born, we are exposed to these norms. We go to school and encounter more norms. We get older and then decide whether to accept and abide by each rule we come across. Again, our values are closely related to the norms we abide by. On the contrary, a situation I just encountered within a group, part of my value system is that I do not lie for anyone, not even to relieve myself of a lot of foreseeable tension and stress. As part of a group within the past few months, I was told to alter the minutes of a group, to go back over the minutes in attendance and mark that all attended for the past 7 meetings. I could not do this. It would be lying. The group members could not see it this way. I was willing to give up my leadership role if they kept persisting to create this new norm for the group. Power. For a person to have power, they can influence them to move, act in a desired direction. Power can be a good thing or it can be abused, and I'm sure you have personal experiences of that. It can be a positive force for getting a job done and is interrelated with having leadership qualities and abilities. Power can be used in building a group and keeping it together. Each one of us fulfills roles in our lives and whether directly or indirectly do have power. Your value system determines how you use this power. Unfortunately, for several years in my previous marriage, I know all too well about coercive power, forcing me to do whatever he wanted. For myself, I believe in having expert power. When through knowledge and skills, people want to unhook their little red wagon and come follow me. They want what I can give them. Stereotypes and biases. We all use stereotypes knowing and unknowingly. The enemy of equality is us. If you are part of a minority ethnic group, you will feel the sting of discrimination. Stereotyping and biases are very much interrelated to identity and biases. As humans, we need to connect to a group. Instead of connecting to a whole community, we connect ourselves to a race or culture. In so doing, we feel the need to build ourselves up in order to feel better about the group we belong to. In so doing, we degrade those around us who are not part of this group we belong to. We feel because they don't share the same values as us, they are not equal to us and even beneath us. This then is carried through in our actions, body language, and words. From my personal experience, I am thankful for Ontario for opening up my eyes to the different religions that separate from my own and learning to appreciate each and every one. Let's all get along. Other ways my self-esteem is analyzed. Ideologies. My views of divorce have changed over the years. Where before I thought a woman was stuck in a marriage, she made our bed, now I have to lie in it, is no longer valid in my viewpoint. Now I see the rights of women so much more important than ever before. I was surprised that many in my faith agreed. World views. We all look through our own speckled glasses. My own views have been governed by CP24 News and now CNN and what my husband may read in the papers. My views are also governed by my Christian faith. Political views, also governed by CNN News. There are too many to mention. Do I agree with the rise in gas prices? No. And for what? Do I agree with the issues surrounding taxes? No. Do I agree with the government in the wide separation between those of upper middle class and lower than lower middle class? No. But I do believe in some policies of the Canadian government, and I do believe in some of the ways and actions of our current headship in power. Completion of the presented production. Stereotypes and biases create conditions for inequality. When we are primed to certain stereotypes, we tend to act towards them. For example, the Obama effect. When African American seen themselves in a different light outside of basketball players and rappers, But now, as highly intelligent people who can rule a country, test scores went up around USA. Isn't that absolutely beautiful to see? Through the years, I have seen myself affected by gender biases. Certain positions that I know I was certainly qualified for were given to males. One employer even mentioned his reasoning for hiring a man over a woman. At times you see the world improving in this area, and other times we find we are more exposed through media, TV, and other people of influence. Ideologies contribute to environmental degradation. Western world ideologies are much different from those overseas, especially when it comes to the ideologies of the rights of women. Many Western world ideologies have been conformed to the ideologies of women in other parts of the world. Many do not welcome this way of thinking and see it as a degradation in the environment. Traditional ways of gender roles of women are now being confronted. Women are taking more leadership and working roles within their communities. This is leaving an upheaval in disputes, as there are now less women to take care of the farming, buying, and selling within their markets. The Western world may not see this as an environmental degradation. Technological advances, some of which have backfired. Since the invention of high fructose corn syrup, though I do love my pecan pie, the food industry has been constantly sabotaging our necessity for life, as the food industry continuously is coming out with ways that our food can last longer, stay fresher, and taste better. With this means more refined sugar and more sodium. What does that spell? You've guessed it. An obesity epidemic, reaching more to our children than ever before. Recently, we even had Kentucky Fried Chicken come out with a KFC Double Down sandwich. Twice the fat content and twice the calories from its original 365 calories. But it tastes so good though. There are many things wrong with this world. Many books have been written on this topic. Let me paraphrase. We're too quick to respond in unnecessary violence. Too many uncalled wars. Overseas trying to stop terrorism when it's in our backyards. Youth are smoking weed and consuming alcohol at younger ages. Northern Florida Bible Belt reported practicing KKK. Too much anger, too much hatred, and taking action, killing. Children dying, too much hunger, too much rape. Chemical gases, nations dropping bombs. Whew, that's a lot of negativity. This is what is wrong with society. Society is filled with demoralization. Ethic codes have been pretty much gone out the window, just like prayer in the schools. Youth are no longer being taught right from wrong, but they have a choice to make, and they can do whatever feels good. Courts are not as strict on consequences of defenses. Youth are more alone in this world, searching for good role models and those that will show them that they truly care. There is less control over your emotions, and instead of getting help to overcome, medication is pumped instead. People are becoming more self-centered, selfish thinking only of themselves. Where is the love? This is what I can do to better the world. And you could also ask what you can do as well. I can have love for more than my own race and culture and not discriminate. I can stop denying my brother. I can ensure secrets of child abuse don't get swept under the rug. I can think first before making any decisions. I can meditate and don't hate. I can spread love and keep it simple. I can talk or just walk away. I can practice what I preach. I can turn the other cheek. Seek guidance from above. I want to thank you for your time here today. I know there was a lot involved. If you'd like to leave some comments, please be nice with the comments. Be constructive, offer encouragement, and you never know, a golden nugget that you share may also help another one that is listening and looking at the comments as well. Thank you. God bless. Many blessings upon your endeavors. Bye for now. Bernadette.